Is there anything which you are afraid of? I fixedly looked at the wrinkles on his face, every one of them, to see if there would be some reaction to this brilliant question of mine. He slowly looked up at me. Yes. And now you want to know what my fear is. There was this silence, a big thunder of nothing. All of a sudden I had my doubts. There was no slightest trace of a smile on his face. I had never seen his face like this before. I shivered like I was seeing the face of a demon. I mean, he was probably the kindest man I've ever known, yet my blood was freezing to ice as his question echoed in my mind. Did I want to know his fear? Did I want to know what could make this man of wisdom shiver, possibly lose his ground, drive him into the deep darkness of the mind? I felt my knees weaken as he took a deep breath, as he was now going to talk, thereby possibly unleashing this horror in my mind, forever making my every night sleepless, turning and twisting. No, I don't want to know. I almost whispered, or maybe I was screaming my head off. I don't really know. You already know now, he then said in this very kind voice. Our biggest fear is that there is something to be truly afraid of. But looking it all over and having contemplated this for many years, I think that fear itself is the demon to be feared by us all. He then rose from the ground where he had been sitting in one single move, so easy and light that all the age of his face seemed like, well, just a mask. He then did a small dance to an unheard tune with his eyes closed, like the dance of an innocent child lost in his own thoughts. He smiled as he opened his eyes and stood still in a frozen posture which admittedly looked a bit ridiculous. And I laughed a bit. He started dancing again in front of me, staring at me, and I felt a strange urge to do the same. He smiled and nodded. So I started dancing some dance of my own to this unheard tune of his, and we both froze in our weird positions, and I laughed and laughed so hard that I was crying with relief.